Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the DGS Action News, episode 7. We're going to be focused on return to school need to knows for our students and for our community members. Our virtual students, we have a separate video linked into the Thursday folder. There's also a special coffee and conversation on Friday, October 9th, just for our virtual families at 8:15. So check out that. We're going to be focused on return to school need to knows in this episode. So I think just want to talk about the main things we're going to highlight in this video. Number one is that there's a survey that is in the Thursday folder that we're going to ask that families fill out as soon as they can. It's going to give us a lot of important information. Number two is make sure that you have a computer, a DPS issued computer ready to go for your back and forth for school. If you were never issued a DPS computer and you've been using your own, you can identify that in that survey that I mentioned. I'll talk more about that. And we're also going to talk about our supplies, make sure that your student is ready to have all of the right supplies when we return to school on the 21st. And then finally, a transportation plan. So these are the four things we're going to cover. I just have some reminders just before some other things. Students need to make sure that they have a mask ready to wear from the moment they get out of the car and approach the blacktop until they come back into the vehicle. There are some times when they can take off their mask during lunch, obviously, when we're outside, but have that mask ready. Our first day of school is Wednesday, October 21st. Fridays are virtual, 9 a.m. to 1:20. So just make sure you're tracking that Fridays. There is not school in person. Our arrival time Monday through Thursday is 8:20 to 8:40. We're going to talk about that. Our dismissal time is 2:55 to 3:05. You're going to find out next week what time your cohort is getting dismissed. All right, so I have right here just a video that I'm showing through, and this is a survey. This survey is in your Thursday folder. This is a really important survey. Right now I can see that in this video, it's clicking that this person does want to submit information into their carpool plan. And so that's one of the features of this survey. If you are interested in matching up with other families for carpooling, you can put that information in this survey. It'll ask you which neighborhood you live in, a little bit more contact information, where you need help, where you can help with the survey, with the carpooling. There's also information in this survey about do you need a computer? Do you need a school to purchase supplies for you? I'm going to talk about supplies next, but if you need a school to purchase supplies, let us know ASAP in this survey so we can get that done. So there's really helpful information. Make sure you fill out the survey. Speaking of supplies, the things that students need to have ready to go on October 21st is face masks, water bottle, because we're not using just a regular water fountain. You got to fill up that water bottle. 4 composition notebooks, 12 sharpened pencils, and 4 whiteboard markers. Those were all part of our summer materials purchase that students did. So if you got those, you're all set. If you didn't buy those things, it's linked into Thursday folder. If you can't afford, you can't get the expo markers, you don't have the sharpened pencils, we can provide those for you. You just have to let us know. So those are the must-have items. There's some highly preferred items: pencil bag case, erasers, glue sticks. If you're a 7th grader, you were given a whiteboard during your materials handout. We want you to bring that in. 6th graders will be purchasing those for you. Ideally, students get some personal hand sanitizer, one of those little bottles. We'll have some as well, but it's just nice to have in your backpack. And one of the things I wanted to explain on the bottom here, a small mat. We're going to eat outside for lunch as often as we can. And we don't want a student to say that they don't want to sit down on the grass. So if you want to purchase a little styrofoam mat, they have them collapsible on Amazon. You can purchase that. All student items are going to be going in their backpack, their lunch, their computer, these supplies. They'll be carrying, they'll be bringing that backpack to and from school. There's no locker use, but they're just going to be staying pretty much in the same spot. They're not going to be moving classes too much, so it shouldn't be too much of a burden. So just make sure you're ready on your supply game. Drop off and pick up. So one of the things to know is that our 7th grade entrance is off the blacktop underneath the sign of our school. Our 6th grade entrance is on the east side of the school. I have on here 57th is the street behind our school. Galena is the street to the east of our school. Elmira is the street to the west of our school. So if you're a 6th grade family, the official drop-off spot is this bus lane right here on 57th and then turning down Galena. We'll have staff that's monitoring this. Our official 7th grade drop-off spot is this driving circle right here, the Kiss and Go lane. Inspire Elementary School will already be having done their drop-off. They'll already have ended school, so it'll be ours to use. Now, one of the things, because we're in middle school, that you can do as a family is you can choose to drop your student off here on Elmira. You can choose to drop your student on the west side of 57th over here and have them walk, and that could just help you potentially avoid a longer line. Perhaps when you do that, you might tell your student, hey, I'll meet you right here, or I'll meet you over here, or even just a little bit further up. That's fine. You can tell your students, because we're a middle schooler, we don't do hand-to-hand drop off and pick up like maybe you were used to in elementary school. So you can tell your student where it is you want to do pickup, and then that could be a way to potentially avoid the line. You're going to know when what your student's dismissal time is next week. It'll be between 2:55 and 3:05, so not a big variance, but that'll be staggered by cohort. And you might drop your student off in the driving circle. You might drop your student off on this bus lane behind the school, or you might say, hey, I'll drop you off a little bit further up, and that way you can know to pick me up, and then you don't have to wait in that compact line. So just something that families can consider as they make their plans. Lastly, got a few student videos I want to share to some students who are excited about returning to school, and that'll end this week's DGS Action News.
So one thing I'm most excited about returning to in-person school is meeting my teachers in person for the first time. Also, I'm new to DGS because I'm in 6th grade, so I haven't really met any of the teachers yet or really been in the building.
Excited for in-person learning because I'm excited to see my school again. I'm a 7th grader, and so I'm excited to see all the new renovations and everything new at the school. I'm also excited to meeting those teachers that I haven't met in person before, and I'm definitely excited to see all my teachers in person rather than just a little picture of them in a box on my screen just from the waist up. So I'm excited to see them all in person, not just in a little box. Yeah.